皆さん、こんにちは。みーさチャンネル資格ハンター編です。最新の英語ニュースを読み上げますので、英語の試験勉強やスキルアップにご活用ください。
Russia bombards eastern Ukraine as Zelenskyy meets with top U.S. officials. April 24, 2022, 8:34 a.m. Update April 24, 2022, 4:55 p.m. VOA News. Ken Bredemeyer. This handout video grab taken from a footage released by Mariupol City Council on April 19, 2022 shows clouds of smoke billowing above Azovstal steel plant and the destroyed gates of Azov shipyard. Photo by handout/Mariupol City Council/AFP. Russia bombarded eastern Ukraine Sunday, including a steel factory in the besieged southern port city of Mariupol, even as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy met with two top American officials in Kyiv, Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Ukrainian officials said Russian forces launched a new airstrike on the Azovstal steel factory in Mariupol, where Ukrainian forces have been holed up and defiantly refusing Russian demands to surrender. Last week, Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered a tight blockade of the facility that Russian forces have struggled to take over from perhaps thousands of Ukraine fighters and civilians who have remained in control of the plant with its labyrinth of tunnels and passageways. Zelenskyy announced the visit of Blinken and Austin to the Ukrainian capital Saturday evening, although Washington declined to confirm the trip of what would be the highest-ranking officials to go to Ukraine since Russia invaded its neighbor 2 months ago. Late Sunday, the Ukraine president's office announced that Blinken and Austin were meeting with Zelenskyy in Kyiv. Watch related video by Arash Arabasadi. Video contains graphic images of war. Direct link. In a lengthy Saturday night news conference in a Kyiv subway station, Zelenskyy said he was looking for the Americans to produce results, both in terms of arms and security guarantees. You can't come to us empty-handed today, and we are expecting not just presents or some kind of cakes, we are expecting specific things and specific weapons, he said. U.S. President Joe Biden in each of the last 2 weeks has approved $800 million in shipments of more arms for Ukraine, along $500 million in economic assistance. With congressional approval for military assistance for Ukraine nearly exhausted, Biden said he would seek approval for more aid, part of the West's arming of Ukraine in its fight against Russia that falls short of sending troops to fight alongside Ukrainian forces. See also. Latest developments in Ukraine, April 24. Zelenskyy has repeatedly pleaded for more heavy weapons, including long-range air defense systems, as well as warplanes. Zelenskyy's meeting with Austin and Blinken took place as Ukrainians and Russians observed Orthodox Easter. Zelenskyy is Jewish, but speaking from Kyiv's ancient St. Sophia Cathedral, he cited Ukrainians' wishes for the holiday. The great holiday today gives us great hope and unwavering faith that light will overcome darkness, good will overcome evil, life will overcome death, and therefore Ukraine will surely win, he said. But the Russian bombardment remains a constant threat for Ukraine. The Russian military reported that it hit 423 Ukrainian targets overnight, mostly in the eastern Donbass industrial region, and destroyed 26 Ukrainian military sites, including an explosives factory and several artillery depots. The International Committee of the Red Cross said in a statement Sunday that it is deeply alarmed by the situation in Mariupol, where the population is in dire need of assistance. The ICRC said, immediate and unimpeded humanitarian access is urgently required to allow for the voluntary safe passage of thousands of civilians and hundreds of wounded out of the city, including from the Azovstal plant area. After the Blinken-Austin visit, Zelenskyy is set to meet Thursday with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. The UN chief is scheduled to meet with Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan in Ankara Monday and Putin in Moscow on Tuesday. British officials said Saturday that Russian troops haven't gained significant new ground despite announcing a renewed offensive along the Eastern Front, while Ukraine declared a nationwide curfew ahead of Orthodox Easter on Sunday. Rescuers worked to remove debris from a building that was hit in a military strike amid Russia's invasion in Odessa, Ukraine, April 24, 2022. Ukraine said Russian forces obstructed attempts to evacuate civilians from the besieged port city of Mariupol. The evacuation was thwarted, Mariupol city official Petro Andriashenko said on Telegram, adding that about 200 people gathered at the government-appointed evacuation meeting point, but that Russian forces dispersed them. Other residents were told to board buses destined for Russian-controlled Dukhachevsk, which is about 80 kilometers to the north, Andriashenko said. Russia fired at least 6 cruise missiles at the Black Sea port city of Odessa on Saturday, killing 8 people including a 3-month-old baby, Ukraine officials said. Russia's defense ministry said its troops conducted a missile strike on a depot in Odessa that contained weapons sent to Ukrainian troops by the United States and European countries. Ukraine officials said Saturday that 21,600 Russian troops have died in Ukraine. Zelenskyy renewed his call for a meeting with Putin to put an end to the war. "I think that whoever started this war will be able to end it," Zelenskyy said in the Saturday news conference, adding that he was not afraid to meet with Putin if it would lead to a peace deal between their two countries. Some information for this story came from the Associated Press, Reuters, and Agence France-Presse.
以上で今回のミーサチャンネルは終了です。最後までご視聴いただきましてありがとうございました。よろしければ高評価とチャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。